Hey guys, my name is Dylan Tell here to show you my virtual world deck list for the regional invitational second place winner. So I'm gonna start off with the rounds. So round 1 I got a bye. Round 2 I played against Drytron. Round 3 I played against Virtual World. Round 4 I played against Eldritch. So I got a game lost in round 4. I forgot to unside and I had a deck check and I felt totally guilty. I wasn't being careful, and I just wanted to tell everyone who goes into future events, please make sure you always unside your deck, because getting a game loss could actually lose you that match. And I felt very lucky that the judge didn't disqualify me or did anything crazy. So after that, I played against Eldritch Red Eyes, which was a very interesting match. I wasn't expecting anything Red Eyes related other than the Dragoons, but it was kind of weird because he would search Red Eyes Fusion, but he was forced to play his Eldritch plays and then go to Red Eyes the next turn. So it was kind of grind with the Eldritch and then get to your Red Eyes plays. So I thought it was a cool deck. After that, I played against Zodiac Eldritch. That deck is so good. It gets you everything you need. It gets you Zeus, all your Eldritch traps. We got into time, so the judge stated we need to play by different rules because it was the top cut. And they said turn 0 to 3. And then highest with the life points wins the duel. And I end up getting lucky, drawing some of my side deck cards, and really winning the match. So that was kind of cool. In the semifinals, I played against Dinos. I 2-0'd. I just had the perfect hand traps just for these matches, and I'll be there to explain how these hand traps helped me in these duels. And in the finals, I played against the Virtual World mirror match. It was probably the toughest match, and there's always going to be room for improvement. I feel like when you build a Virtual World deck, go by what you feel comfortable with. Go by how you observe in the meta, because that's what makes you a better player in the game in general. And when I see a deck list, I generally go by as a reference. Copying the full deck list, things may be adjusted because there's things that I didn't like, or things didn't show up as well. So please take the time to play test and experiment your deck and see what could be better in hard matchups, or these new decks that are being created every day. You just never know what you see. Could be today, tomorrow, anytime. So continuing on, let's get to the deck list. So we got the one driver. I never played 2 because just drawing it is just so bad. Every time I draw a driver, I usually have a bad hand, and I just think it's just driver. Driver ain't my boy. I don't know him. He crazy, dude. Starting off with the Virtual World monsters. Let's go. So 3 Lily is your Double Foolish. 3 Lalo is your Monster Reborn. 3 Lulu is your Searcher, and 3 Nyan because it's your level 3 extender. 3 Gigi because it's your salvage during the end phase, and this card allows you to decide whether if you want Lulu in your hand on the end phase or Lao. So I find Gigi a very good card in the deck. I play for the hand traps. I play the standard triple Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Gamma. So everyone knows what Ash does. Ash basically stops everything that search, special summons from the deck, or dumps a card from the deck. So it does stop Kowloon or Ash or Lao, basically any of the virtual world monsters. I think Ash is just always good at 3. Bell. So Bell is a little interesting. So I played Bell because I didn't really like Eldritch. Some people say they don't have a hard time against Eldritch, and I felt like you do need cards to, prevent them from grinding you. So I play Bell so they don't, like when they activate Sanguine, I'll make sure they don't get that Eldritch on the field. Another reason why I play Bell is because usually this deck, I feel like you just make Calamities, so you want to protect it, and no, not that many people are playing Imperm at the moment in the format, so people are playing Gamma, and Bell could stop the Gamma, so it gives your Calamities another turn to survive. Also, stopping your opponent from playing is very strong. I play triple Gamma. Gamma is such a good card at the moment because there's just times where you don't have the correct hand trap to stop a specific monster. So Gamma comes into play and gets you that level 6 body for a rank 6 Exceed play or level 9 Synchro play if you have that level 3 tuner. And these are my monster lineups. So let's get to the spells and traps. So we play triple Kowloon. Kowloon's like my favorite starter. It gets you the trap face up, and it makes it so you can have easier access for your virtual worlds to target the trap. There's times where I will get the spell, so I can get rid of a negate on my opponent's board or something that may be threatening, like in the future wise. So like, let's say they ended with Zeus, I would activate Kowloon, and then try to negate the Zeus because I think Quinglong states like even if this card leaves the field, so like you can negate a card even if it leaves the field, so it makes your opponent think, and that's what I like about the card. I play triple Desires, so you can banish the top 10, you get to draw the 2. The Nyan helps you so you could shuffle those cards that you really need back into the deck. So like for example, if all your Quinglongs are banished, I would use the Nyan to shuffle those back, or if my Lalas are all banished, I'll shuffle one, or I try to like put back what I need, not what I don't need. So that's why Desire is such a good draw card in the deck. Foolish Burial Goods at 1 because I don't like drawing 2, and what's good about Foolish in the deck, it gets to Quinglong Engrave. So most of the time you either combo, and there's just times where you just brick, so the Foolish will help it. And another thing is it's good card to unside out because there's not that many cards that you want to unside out because you don't want to ruin the consistency of the deck. Let's move forward. So one call by because hand traps are still in the game. There's monsters that activate in the graveyard you want to stop. That one call by is there for you. One E-Telly because it's at 1. It gets your extender. My favorite thing about E-Telly is like if 9's already in grave and you didn't normal summon, I like to go E-Telly, get the 9 in grave. So if they have something to stop me from, like for example punishment, if they blow up that, I still have my normal summon. Also, it was only a 1 card to get me 2 bodies on the board, so that was just very interesting. 3 Quinglong. Quinglong is your basic go-to to send to the graveyard because that search to send, that send card is good because like you could send the Nyan on your grave, or you could send that driver that you bricked. Sometimes I like to send a hand trap I don't need at the moment, so that's what I like about Quinglong. 3 Chuche lets you manipulate levels. Everyone knows what it does. You can decrease or increase levels or ranks by 3. So that is very interesting, that a trap that could increase ranks. Because back then I used to play Jaja, and it was a rank 3 Virtual World card. So I didn't really like him because, some people did like him to out the Dragoon, but I just felt like there's better cards to make. So I didn't like him in the extra deck. So let's get to the extra deck actually. So Shenshin at 1 Vermilion Dragon, 1 Croc, 1 Cloud Castle, 1 Juju, 1 Coral Dragon, 1 Stars Charge Warrior. So I played the 1-ubs because Shenshin comes back. It's a Macrocosmo on the field. Vermilion Dragon gets you that pop. And another thing is I like banishing the tuner. So like, let's say you cannot get the Trapping Grave. I'll banish the tuner, so I'll get a pop with the Vermilion and the pop with the Chuche. So that's what I found interesting. Croc gets you that draw, and there's times where I have dead cards in my hand, and I'll use the discard effect just to get like the Spell Engrave or the Trap Engrave. So I love Croc. He's my friend. So Cloud Castle, basically in the late game, you can make Cloud Castle. So like that one Lao makes Cloud Castle, brings back Shen, and you can make the Calamity. So that's what I like about him. Juji is like, he's very good because if you have Nyan and Lulu engrave, he stays protected, or Gigi or Lily engrave, and it just makes it perfect so you can target him with your virtual monsters, so you know they'll resolve without having to worry about him like getting popped or getting removed by the field. Coral Dragon, because Coral Dragon, I like his discard effect to pop one. I don't really use it much, but it does come in certain matchups. And sometimes you do need that level 6 tuner, and you can make like Coral Dragon with a GG to make Croc and get that draw too. And there's times where it makes Stardust Charge Warrior as a non-level 6 tuner. So like, he's just so good because he draw one, and there's times where you want to use this effect to attack all special summon monsters. Yeah, so that's my synchro lineup, and let's get to the Exceed. So 1 Zeus, 2 Calamities, 1 Gaia, 1 Utopia Beyond, 1 Break Sword, 1 Fan, and 1 Bamboozle. So, everyone knows what Zeus does. It sends cards in the field. This deck particular can make a 4 material Zeus, 2 material Zeus, and when you make Zeus, it's just very powerful when you want to break your opponent's board. 2 Calamities, because like usually after the first one, you kind of do want to make the second one. I don't like them at 3 because I just never had the opportunity to make 3. So I keep him at 2. 1 Gaia Charger. So Gaia Charger, I like him because you could just slap him on and then slap Zeus on any rank 6. So he's pretty cool. Utopia Beyond's good because most of the time when people say like, oh, use him to like out the Dragoon. Yeah, you out the Dragoon because sometimes your opponent like would negate one of the monsters, preferably because they could easily just spam a bunch of monsters more than making whatever's in the extra deck. So like sometimes they'll hit the Lulu, sometimes they'll try to wait for the Lao. And it's just very tough determining on what to hit in the deck because you can never predict in what's in your opponent's hand unless, like, for example, there's times where I had Trap and then I had to use the Lao to target the Trap to get the Queen Long. So there's times like that. That's when you're desperate. And there's times you do need to be desperate like that. 1 Break Sword because I used my dead Queen Longs on the field. I popped them so I get that search. 1 Fan because I like Fan because the fact that if he dies, you get 2 Virtual Worlds for free. And his effect is very strong with the detach too because you could target a face-up card, not just like a monster, just a card, and 1 card in either player's graveyard and banish them. So that's just good because you can banish your own cards to get the trap set up, or banish your opponent's Drytron monsters or Eldritch cards. That's why I love Fan. And then we play the 1 Bamboozle. So sometimes I like making Bamboozle with the Calamities, just to get that protection from Gamma. There is times where I do make him so I don't get Nibiru'd, but that doesn't happen all the time. Like, you just can't always make a Bamboozle with the Calamities. But he's still a good card overall. Let's get to the side deck, actually. So, 3 Lancia, 2 Nibiru, 3 Skullmeister, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Lightning Storm, and 2 Ice Dragon Prison Mirror. So, the reason why I play all these hand traps, so what I like about this deck, there's not that much cards that you can unside. So, I thought, why don't you switch the hand traps that you have that will get you a better chance of winning in the matchup? Because, for example, yes, Ghost Spell could stop Lao Lao, but I felt like if you just put the 3 Gammas over the Ghost Spells, like, that's just good enough. And then, like, side out 2 other cards for the 2 Nibirus. You know, like, it all depends on feeling. Like, I don't like oversighting. I feel like oversighting can really hurt your deck a lot. So, I tend to side in at least, like, 4 cards to 8 cards. But never, like, I would try to stay away with 8. Because, you know, just don't ruin the consistency. I think the deck is good the way it is. But, like, sometimes you do have to tweak in and really make tough decisions on what to take out. Like, sometimes I'll take out, like, 1 Nyan. I'll take out a Pot of Desires for sure. I'll take out the Foolish Burial. There's times where you do want to take out the Call By. So, like, if I'm going second, I'll take out the Call By. I just felt like it's, like, yeah, you get rid of the hand trap, but I feel like Call By is good when you're going first. So, yeah, like, you just play these, and it all depends on the matchup. So, like, Lancia against, like, Virtual World, Invocation, Evolutionary Pill, Miscellaneous, that's good. Nibiru, I mostly see it good for the Virtual World mirror match. When they dump the Nibiru in Virtual World, it hurts a lot. It really does. Especially, like, you Nibiru them and then you have full combo, so you gotta hope your opponent doesn't have Nibiru either. And there is times where both players do open up Nibiru, and it's kind of crazy. 3 Skullmeister, because it gets rid of the Eldritch traps that are getting banished from Grave. It gets rid of Miscellaneous. It stops Prank Kids. It really affects a lot in the format, so I think Skullmeister at 3 is just a really good card. Harpy's Feather Duster at 1. This card is my favorite. It just literally says blow up your whole opponent's back row. And there's just times where I want to wipe their whole back row, make sure they don't have any interruptions against my plays, and just make VFD and try to control the game. So I played 2 Cosmic, 2 Lightning Storm. So I didn't draw Lightning Storm once, but everyone knows, you know, if you draw Lightning Storm first turn, especially against back row decks, it's very strong. Cosmics, I use it here and there, but I prefer opening either the Harpies or the Lightning Storm, and then 2 Ice Dragon Prisons, because there's times where they'll summon like Shen Shen. You want to just summon their Lulu, get rid of their Shen Shen or Eldritch, or anything with the same type. So it's just I think Ice Dragon Prison is like definitely a $40 card due to like Rise of the Duelist being all short printed during the pandemic. So this is my deck list profile, and you know, leave any comments in the channel if you have any questions, and subscribe to the Toro YouTube channel, please. And shout outs to like my community, Double Midnight Comets for all the remote duels that I have joined through. Shout outs to Batters Up, because I was like 16 playing locals there before all the pandemic stuff. And you know, shout outs to Lazy Piev, because he actually let me borrow the Lightning Storms, Ice Dragon Prisons. He's actually real for that, and I appreciate that. So yeah, hopefully wish me luck at Nats, guys, and hope you have a good day.